Our next question comes from Eric.
Returning back to agriculture, ethanol has become a major driver of southern Minnesota's economy, both for the communities that have ethanol plants and for the farmers who provide the grain. Please describe your view of the blender's mandate in a year when the nation's corn crop could be down by as much as 15% and food prices are rising.
Mr. Quist.
Okay. It is my view that ethanol, up to this point, in most respects, has been good for the country and good for southern Minnesota. However, when the mandates become too extreme, I'm going to use one of Mr. Walz's words, not for him, but mandates, and unrealistic, then they have the potential to do great harm. And so my acquaintance, Congressman Burgess, has a bill that he has submitted, Congressman from Texas, that would take the ethanol mandates, roll them back, I think it's 2010 levels if I remember correctly, and freeze them there. Right now the mandates by 2023 take us up to 36 billion gallons of renewable fuels required per year. And that's totally unrealistic. We don't have the technology to do that. As a corn farmer, I want to assure you, we don't have the corn to do that. So we have to be realistic and have some balance on this issue.
Okay, Mr. Walz.
Well, the question talked about the blender's mandate. There was a blender's credit that was taken off, that was given in there, the $1 per gallon that went. This is a renewable fuel standards to try and move us towards more energy efficiencies. Written into that bill was a safeguard that once, if it's deemed that it's being counterproductive, that they can take it off and make sure that the mandate comes back down. This is another one of those cases out here that's very interesting, yes, because ethanol has created an incredible market for our products right here at home. It's created jobs and growth at home. It has made me be very clear about this. Corn harvests are up because that market is there. And I disagree with Alan on this. He said he would never provide a single grant to any businesses, which I'm assuming are anything, land grant, universities types of thing. I'll provide it. I will provide the quote. Let me finish. You said you would not ever vote for a grant to a private business. Now what I'm saying is the grants that we've done on genomics research in corn and soybeans, I believe that we can catch up with the science, but it's going to be done collectively on this. We can do it in our land grant universities. It will grow to the private sector. That's why I think growing up when I'm living on the farm, I would have never thought 200 bushel. That's going to happen and beyond.
Mr. Walz, okay. Alan, you have 30 seconds.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, lawmakers think they can change the laws of chemistry and physics by passing laws. We do not have the technology to make 16 billion gallons of ethanol from cellulose. Technology isn't there. So you can't legislate chemistry and physics. So we've made good progress with ethanol. But if we have a rigid mandate, and I don't know what Mr. Walz is saying, I didn't catch an answer to him. If we have a rigid mandate, we don't gain anything by putting hog producers, cattle producers, and the like out of business. That's not where we want to be.
Thank you, Mr. Quist. Mark, you have our next question.
It comes from a member of the audience. They ask, what are your views on the Simpson-Bowles Debt Commission, which proposed cuts in discretionary spending, increases in revenue, and cuts to entitlements, including reforming Social Security?
Who goes next? Congressman Walz. Good.
Well, I sat down with Alan Simpson and Erskine Bowles, and I was part of the group that did this. This is the way we get there. We had the opportunity last summer. The extremists again hijacked the idea when we got to the debt ceiling vote. That was what my belief was. We had an opportunity, $4.7 trillion in reductions in a balanced approach to this. Democrats and Republicans came together. The idea is, and that every single economist believes this, that that's the only way you approach this way, making sure growth. Every percentage point of GDP adds $3 trillion to the growth. What we understand is that we bring back down spending back to the 20%, roughly 19.8%, make sure that the growth in the economy is making sure that revenues match to that, and at the same time growing the new businesses. That's why the Simpson-Bowles Commission and the big idea is the only way to go. But here's where the problem is. Alan can never vote for it because he has pledged his allegiance to a DC lobbyist that says he can do nothing on revenue. So you're never going to get to $4 trillion because there's not enough to cut to get to $4 trillion.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to correct Mr. Walz when he puts false information out there, and I guess this is going to be kind of a full-time job. When he says every economist agrees with Simpson-Bowles, I mean, I'm sorry, that is a joke. They do not. When he talks about a balanced approach, I want you to go back and find Reason Magazine, if my memory serves me correct, it's June 11th, 2010, okay? I'm not 100% sure, only 95. Published a survey of nations that tried to solve their debt issues with the quote-unquote balanced approach versus those who solved it by cutting spending. Guess what? The nations that took the cutting spending approach succeeded. The nations that took the so-called balanced approach, some tax increases, some spending cuts, did not succeed. I'm terribly pragmatic when it comes to politics. Politics is the art of the possible. Investments is the art of the possible, okay? What's possible is cutting spending and balancing the budget that way. It's not going to work any other way. I don't care what people say.
Let me show you, Alan shows his chart about the debt, and he's right, but he only shows you for the last 4 years. He likes to show that part. Let me show you the debt of the United States. This is the percentage of GDP, 120% of our gross domestic product after World War II. This is where we are today. We're down at about 73%. You know what happened right during this time right here? We did the GI Bill, we did the interstate highway system, we did Medicare, we invested in education and higher education and the war on poverty. At the same time, you know what the top tax bracket was at that time? 91%. This was the largest expansion of any economy in the history of the world, outpacing where China is today. We did it in a balanced approach, and the spending levels were at 19 to 20%.
Congressman, thank you.
This nation did it because America's not like other nations.
Our next question is from Julie.
Wait.
That was my rebuttal.
That was okay.
That was the 30-second rebuttal. Okay, our next question is from Julie.
All right, thank you. The medical device tax that is proposed has a disproportionately negative impact on Minnesota's economy since we have a large number of medical device companies. Do you support the elimination of this tax?
Mr. Quist.
Yes, but I get 59 seconds more. Medical devices tax is terrible economic strategy. All right, here's your typical balanced approach. We're going to raise taxes here, and then, God willing, although it usually doesn't come, we're going to cut spending someplace else. Every time you raise taxes, you hurt the economy. Raising taxes on medical devices especially hurts the economy in Minnesota, and especially in southern Minnesota. It's simply a matter of good economics, folks. You raise taxes, you take money out of the economy, you discourage investors, okay? People decide to hunker down, and the strategy of investors like me becomes one of how can I avoid taxes? Not only how can I make money. The only way to get our house in order is to start reducing spending. And I'm really surprised that Mr. Walz is suggesting the debt isn't that big a deal. Okay, now wait. You'll get your turn. I'm really surprised that he's suggesting the debt isn't that big a deal. In 2 years, 25 cents out of every dollar we collect is going for interest. That's money we can't pay for education and everything else. Not smart.
All right, Congressman.
Alan's the guy that drives by the house and says it's on fire and then asks the fire department not to use everything they have to put it out. It's not that difficult to point to the problem. It's more difficult to get there. And Alan says he's going to figure out a way not to pay taxes. I think I should pay my fair share. That's how our soldiers are paid. That's how our roads are built. That's how things are done. It's about a fairness to the system. And the idea on this is that there is absolutely no economic evidence that the tax cuts to the top 2% created any investment in jobs, created any job growth, or created any buying into the economy. The engine of this economy has always been and will always be the middle class. Henry Ford had it right. If I don't pay my workers enough to buy the dang car, there's no use making them because they're not going to go anywhere. It's a balanced approach. Yes, you don't want excessive regulation, and we've never said, Alan's saying I don't care about the debt. Of course I would, because that's going to impact all of us. But I care about actually paying it down. Instead of the word salad of things that sound good, I would suggest, Alan, you go to the Mayo Clinic. I would suggest you talk to some of these people. Don't just take yourself to places where people agree with you. The Tea Party folks will love what you have to say. The rest of the folks need to hear.
Okay, Tim, thank you. Alan?
Hey, I mean, what is this? Tim Walz says there's no evidence that cutting taxes boosts the economy.
Top 2%.
Oh, I don't care. Take every percent. Take every percent. Ronald Reagan is elected president in 1980 at a time of stagflation. Now, hey, I get some of my time back. If he's going to keep interrupting me, okay.
Just keep going, Alan.
I get some of my time back. Ronald Reagan came into office in 1980. I came into politics with the Reagan Revolution. What's the program? We've got stagflation. We have to cut taxes to get the economy going. That's for everybody, folks. Okay? A rising tide raises all ships.
Alan, thank you very much. Okay, we're going to take a little break now. Alan, take a deep breath. We're moving on to our lightning round. Okay? As if there hasn't been lightning already. This is where we ask a straightforward question that can be answered in 1 or 2 words. So you get that? 1 or 2 words. Anything more, you just might get struck by lightning, which we don't want. So at the end of the lightning round, I'm going to ask you to sum up your economic philosophy in 1 tweet, and a tweet is 140 characters or less. For those of you like me who don't tweet. Alan, I think since you went first, we'll let Tim go first on the lightning round. So I'll ask the question, 1-word response, and Alan, 1-word response. Clear? Okay, so here we go. Lightning round, question number 1. Do you think any changes in immigration law are needed to bring skilled workers in math and science fields to work for U.S. businesses? Tim?
Yes.
Alan?
Yes to legal immigration, no to illegal.
All right, 1 word. Number 2, what 1 department or agency would you downsize or eliminate if you could? Tim?
I think I would downsize Department of Transportation.
Alan?
EPA.
Number 3, do you support a voucher system for Medicare? Tim?
Absolutely not.
Alan?
Not likely.
Okay, let's flip this around. Number 4, we'll start with you, Alan. Should the Social Security eligibility age be raised for younger workers? Alan?
In the future.
Tim?
No.
Number 5, sum up your economic philosophy in 1 tweet, 140 characters or less.
Free enterprise works, socialism does not.
Providing all opportunities for middle-class Americans to grow the economy and achieve the dream as we always have.
Very nice. Lightning round is completed. Nice job, gentlemen. Thank you. Okay.